Welcome to Foodonomics. It is Thanksgiving, well, Canadian Thanksgiving on the Foodonomics Channel. Keep watching to find out what we made and how we celebrated this year.
So let's start with all the ingredients I had to go and buy extra on top of the things that we had in the house. So at home we already had little staples like milk and onions and garlic and all the garnishing stuff, spices, all of that stuff. And the turkey also is in the freezer. It could not fit over here, so it's not in the freezer. Sorry, it's thawing right now in the fridge. But it couldn't fit on the table here, so anyhow, so I didn't buy a large pumpkin this year. I'm using 3 pie pumpkins and some sweet potatoes, and we're gonna make a whole bunch of things today. So here we have some peeled apples for the apple pie, and I'm just gonna dice them up, put some lemon on it while they're gonna go in the apple pie mix. So the mix filling, that's what it is. Thank you. All right, so the pumpkins are all cut up. There's 3 of them. I'm gonna roast all of this at 425 degrees Fahrenheit in the oven. This, as well as there's a second one, and there's a few pieces of potatoes. Now we're making pumpkin gnocchi, pumpkin soup, and some pumpkin spice for pumpkin spice lattes in the morning. I'm gonna cut them very roughly, take the stems out and cut them very roughly. I'm not coring the inside, but I am going to try and... Okay, so I have 5 gala apples here. I'm gonna take the stems out and I'm going to cut them roughly. And I'm going to not core the inside, just take the seeds out as much as I can, and they're all gonna go into the stock pot to make apple cider. It doesn't have to be an exact recipe. Something's wrong with my knife. Doesn't want to cut anything. Definitely need a knife. My cutting board is breaking up. Okay, so this is 5 apples, and I did core them in that not all the pieces are cored, but I took out the parts that had the seeds because we don't want cyanide, right? Apple seeds apparently have cyanide in it. Anyway, I don't know how bad it's supposed to be, but I just took it out anyway because I don't want it in the juice cooking. So they have been cut into 8ths, and then these are going, so this is going in the apple cider. And this is going to be cut into 8ths, no, 16ths probably, and then it's going to go in the apple pie filling. But the skins of these, which we've saved, are also going to go into the apple cider, because the more the juice, the better. Okay? This is a ginormous stock pot, water bath canning pot that I have. I usually use it for stock, and it has, right now, I know it doesn't look like it, but it has 12 cups of water in it. Now I'm just gonna drop all of this apple into it. It's already kind of hot. It hasn't started boiling yet, but it's already hot, so I'm dropping all of this in there. 2 tablespoons of butter in a saucepan. I need to get a new saucepan. This is for the apple pie filling. Turn the heat a little bit low so that it starts to brown and not burn. And this is 5 tablespoons of palm sugar. So this is the thing that's going to be different in this whole recipe. We usually put brown sugar and white sugar mixed together, or just brown sugar, which is, you know, white sugar with molasses. But we're trying to keep it a little bit healthy this time. So 5 tablespoons of palm sugar. We're going to let it melt into half a cup of water. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon going in. Pour in some cornstarch slurry. Don't mind the color. The color is only this way because the palm sugar is a lot darker than actual brown sugar. This is not cream, but cornstarch slurry, just to thicken it up a little. But yeah, so we're adding the apples into thickened mixture. Squeeze a whole lemon into the filling. So this apple cider is nice and boiling. It's been going for about half an hour. I just threw in half a cup of lemon zest. So we're not gonna waste all the pumpkin seeds that we took out of the pie pumpkins. I'm gonna put it on this thing. It's not like lying flat or anything like that. And the reason is because instead of roasting it where I have in the past burnt it, I'm going to sort of bake it in the oven with the top on like that. And this way, when we've taken out the pumpkin and the potatoes that were in the oven for almost an hour and a half. I'm gonna let them stay on the table just to, you know, cool down for a little bit before I start scraping them out of their skin. And then we're gonna start the gnocchi. I have here some elbow macaroni in a baking pan. I'm going to put some cling wrap on it. It's cooked al dente only, and I'm gonna leave it in the fridge for a little while I make the mix for it. And when it's ready to get baked, because I want it to be baked fresh and, you know, crispy when it comes out of the oven. So I'm gonna make the filling right now also, pour it in, and then leave it in the fridge. And then once it's time for when the turkey is about 2 hours cooked, then I'm gonna stick this in the oven. Okay, so we're starting with 2 eggs. And 2 eggs. Oh, there's a shell in there. Oh yeah. There we go, got it out. Half a cup of half and half cream. And they're gonna whip it together. That's about half a cup. We're gonna whip it up. Then we're going to add the cheddar cheese. We're gonna grate it in there. I have here the 2 eggs, the cream, the half and half cream, and I put about a 1/4 cup of whipping cream in here, heavy whipping cream, just to get it thickened out a little more. There's salt and pepper, and then I have 1 cup of mild cheddar shredded, mild marble cheddar, and then a 1/4 cup of medium sharp cheddar shredded, salt and pepper. I'm gonna add about a 1/4 teaspoon of, or 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne, just for a little kick, because normally I would put jalapeno. I don't have jalapenos today, so just for a little kick, but that's an optional thing. You don't have to do it. And I also added some salt, but not too much because the cheese is pretty salty too, I guess. And I'm just gonna mix this in here. And this is gonna go into the macaroni. Thoroughly mix it in. put in, that's not the cayenne, that's paprika. And get out of the way. Just a tad bit. I want it overpowering the macaroni. It's not supposed to taste like a spicy dish. It just has to have like, there's something in here, you know. I think it's cayenne, not really sure. That's the amount you want. You don't have to add it. You could put minced jalapeno in here. Now, this is a recipe that I got from, not the whole thing actually, just the eggs part of it. I got it from online. I forget the name of the individual that posted it, because normally I would not put any eggs into my mac and cheese, but this time I am, and I'm gonna try it, see how it is. So here comes the macaroni. Get some things out of the way. Gonna pour this right on top. Just gonna mix it all in. I might need to add a little bit more. I think this I'm just gonna mix it all in here, because this macaroni has been cooling for about half an hour and it's getting a little stuck together, so I'm just gonna mix it in here, all into it. Now this is not a layer of cheese that's supposed to be on top, it's supposed to be right in between all of the macaroni pieces. And I am gonna add another cup of both of the cheeses mixed to top it. Don't mind how messy it's getting. To top it, and then we're gonna put Parmigiano Reggiano shredded on the top of it near the end, so that it crisps a little bit, and that way it's got layers of flavor, but it's still mac and cheese. And there you have it. I have mixed all of the stuff on the inside, and then I topped it with the last 1 cup of 3/4 of it is the light marble, and 1/4 of it is the medium sharp cheddar. And now I'm not gonna put this in the oven yet, but I'm gonna just put a cling wrap on it and put it in the fridge for about, well, for quite a while actually. It's gonna sit there until the turkey has gone in and cooked for at least 2 hours, so that it's closer to the end of the process. And that way when we take it out, it's going to be fresh, crisp on the top. I'm gonna add Parmigiano Reggianos on the top halfway through its cooking process. So I cut up some regular potatoes and sweet potatoes. These are Caribbean sweet potatoes. I thought I had bought the orange flesh sweet potatoes. I've never made these before, so hopefully this turns out all right. I'm gonna boil these, then I'm gonna cut these into thin strips to start roasting. But these ones that are cut right now are gonna go into boiling water. They're gonna boil for a little bit, and then I'm gonna make sweet potato mash. But I have the few potatoes just to infuse into the mix so that it's not overly sugary. And I'm just gonna, this is gonna go with the roasting potatoes. I'm just gonna peel these. Peel this first also before doing anything with it. Get all of those little holes and stuff out. I'm gonna peel turnips and carrots as well with this to go into the roasting pan. And they're not gonna get any salt or honey or anything in it yet. I'm gonna glaze them after they're done roasting. And so I don't know if I want to bore you guys with showing you that. Yeah, so I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna peel these. I'm gonna peel these, and then I'm gonna cut them all into thin strips. And get this cutting board out of here too. See what it looks like on the camera. Okay, I'm gonna move the camera just a little bit. Got more things on the side here. Okay, now I'm gonna black pepper. Okay, this is going to be a spicy version. Some salt. Again, some cayenne pepper. It's a little bit more than I expected. I'm just throwing it out this way. I didn't even use the spoon to do that. Probably should have. And I'm going to add some coconut oil to hold it all together. So we're just gonna grab a tablespoon. And throw 2 tablespoons or so of coconut oil in here. Then I'm gonna massage all of this into, be careful if you are not accustomed to cayenne pepper, you need to wash your hands thoroughly after thinning this. You want to mix it all up thoroughly. Wrap each individual corn in a foil. You can salt it again when it comes out, if you'd like. There you go. I'm gonna move this out of the way. So we have here 8 halves of corn. Yes, I'm making it halves because, to be honest, you guys, when you have the Thanksgiving meal with all of the vegetables and all of the dressings and all of that stuff, the last thing you are gonna want is a whole corn on the cob to fill you up before you can taste everything else. So half of them, here's 8 of them that are seasoned right now. I'm gonna put these in the oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes. Then we're gonna get it out and squeeze some lemon on top. So there are the sweet potatoes, Caribbean sweet potatoes, which I have boiled. I cut these and boiled them. I'm gonna mash them and then add all the things that's gonna make it mashed potato in there. Here we have the mashed potato that I just made, and I just flattened it out. There are chives in here. We put again a dash of cayenne. Here's the thing, this is the reason why this Caribbean sweet potato is so sweet that as a mashed potato it won't fly unless you add some black pepper and a hint of spices. So I put a little bit of cayenne pepper just to give it a kick. There's 2 tablespoons of melted butter in here and a little bit of half and half cream. I mushed it, not completely smooth. There are still a little bit of chunks. I'm just gonna stick it in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes and then take it out so that it's nice and warm and ready to eat. Okay, so you might think the stuffing was going to be boxed, but no, we actually have homemade bread here that I have soaked in milk and have broken to pieces. Now I'm putting it in here to cook in the oils or the same pan as I fried a few sausages earlier, and just to get the flavors in. I'm gonna add the gizzards to this, and then I'm gonna put this into a pan. I am gonna put some diced onions in this for flavoring, salt, pepper, some seasonings, and then I'm gonna put it into a pan, add some, what do you call it? The chicken stock, again, homemade chicken stock. I'm gonna add that, and I am going to throw it in the oven, throw some cheese on top, possibly Parmigiano Reggiano, and then it's gonna come out nice and baked and delicious stuffing. So here is the apples boiling in the cider. I'm just adding a handful of cloves. And with the cloves, I'm gonna put a dash of cinnamon. And a little bit of nutmeg. Okay, I know it needs to be turned over. There is parsnips and onions underneath the turkey right now. I need to season it, stuff it with butter, and then cover it with foil and stick it in the oven for 2 hours, and then take the foil off and let it completely cook for another 2 hours. This is a 5 to 7 pound turkey, so it'll take about 4.5 hours to finish. However, I'm not gonna show you guys how I'm seasoning or buttering or doing any of that, because it's exactly the same way as I did the chicken the other day. It's going to be just the seasoned butter under the skin, and then all of the seasonings that I used in that same video. You can use whatever seasonings you want on the top of the turkey. It's really up to you. Okay, so now we're starting the green beans. We're just doing garlic butter green beans, so it's gonna be sauteed. I'm just gonna pour a little bit of water, about 4 tablespoons of water, into the pan, and I'm gonna put the lid on so that it steams. And once it steams, I'm gonna add salt, garlic, and 2 tablespoons of butter. So now I'm adding the garlic, the large cloves. 4 large cloves, as much as you want actually, of garlic. In goes the butter. Now I'm gonna mix it all up. Ooh, I think I burnt it a little on the bottom there. So I'm not adding the butter quickly enough. You just cook it until it melts and let the butter brown just a tiny bit. And it's okay if it's a little crispy on the bottom, it's fine. It's not burnt, it's just caramelized. So I was going to bake these in the oven, but I'm adding some salt right now. This is frying a little bit, sauteing in some olive oil. I'm going to add some garlic, black pepper, and salt. And then at the end, when I'm going to put it in the container that it's supposed to go in, I'm going to shred some Parmigiano Reggiano on top. It's supposed to be Parmesan, but we don't have Parmesan, so I'm going to do that. And the reason I'm doing this on a stove top instead of in the oven is because the turkey is taking up quite a bit of space, and it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get this in there. So I'm just going to try to steam a little and saute it a little bit, steam and saute it, and see how it goes. Okay, you guys, so to keep this in a single layer to roast these vegetables, I actually had to, use 2 trays. This is the second tray here. I haven't roasted them yet, but as you can see, the yam kind of turns color, but also I blanched them for a minute just because I'm saying yam because it's actually Caribbean sweet potato, the yellowy one. and the texture felt a lot like cassava or yam. So just to be sure that it cooks the same way as everything else, I figured it was the best idea to blanch it for like a minute or so, and I blanched it for exactly 1 minute. And now I'm gonna season these. It's gonna be the same thing. Salt. I'm gonna put the same thing in this one and that one. Salt and pepper. And then some coconut oil so that it bakes thoroughly. And then we're gonna put it in the oven for about 40 minutes at 425. Okay, so we're almost ready to serve everything, and I'm just pouring my honey Dijon glaze over the root vegetables. And currently the last thing in the oven is our apple pie. This will be out in a little bit. It's not on the table. So I can't fit any corn on my plate, and I'm not gonna take it at this time, but I do want to throw some of that gravy onto my turkey and a little bit on the stuffing. Yeah, lots of gravy. Here's all the final products, guys. I just want to say the turkey is very well done. However, it's falling off the bones and it's delicious. There's the sweet mashed potato. There is the vegetables, the root vegetables, and the corn on the cob. I just have a little bit of the sour cream here because I'm literally the only person who likes it. And there's gravy, and this is my homemade from scratch stuffing. It's dressing actually because I didn't stuff the bird. And there's the mac and cheese that I can't wait to try. There's some green beans and Brussels sprouts. There's less of the vegetables because it's not going to be a huge hit today. And there's some chunky pumpkin soup. There we have it, folks. The chunky pumpkin soup or bisque, and the apple cider, cold apple cider. I did not like it warm. I don't like to drink it warm too much. And then all this food for Thanksgiving.
Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you liked this video and I hope you found some useful recipes. If you're in the US, you still have time to try all of this out. Please like, comment, and subscribe and share with anyone you want.